Hi guys! Happy New Year's! What would be a best way to start the new year? It would be going over the top 10 best animes that were released in 2022. So here we go. Starting off we have Chainsaw Man. This anime being one of the best this year was a given seeing as how it was one of the most anticipated animes out there. Also, when it came out it met the expectations of the viewers, thus giving Chainsaw Man one of the best scores along with popularity. But just in case there are those who don't know or haven't watched it yet, I will be giving a brief explanation about the anime. Chainsaw Man starts off with Denji being in a lot of debt, living like a hobo because of his father's debt that was passed on to him when his father died. In order to pay back the debt, Denji starts working for the Yakuza doing odd jobs before meeting Pachita. Pachita is a dog-like demon with a chainsaw on its head. When first encountering Pachita, Denji saw that he was injured and allowed Pachita to suck his blood on the condition they make a contract together. The contract being Denji saves Pachita's life and Pachita helping Denji achieve his dream. Fast forward to some time later when Denji became proficient in slaying demons with Pachita. The Yakuza head asks Denji to go to an abandoned factory where he is murdered by the mind-controlled Yakuza members under the influence of another demon. After death, Pachita merges himself with Denji, bringing him back to life and allowing Denji to transform into Chainsaw Man to fulfill their contract. Therefore, starting Denji's journey as a demon killer for the government and fulfilling his naive dreams one by one. The Eminence in Shadow. A reincarnated into another world with overpowered main character anime. The main character Minoru is a student in Japan with 8th-grader syndrome. He believes that he is very weak and that he wants to be strong enough to determine the direction of his own life. With this mindset, Minoru trains himself physically and even acts as a vigilante fighting gangs and others who do evil. He has great combat prowess and knows many different ways of fighting, both empty-handed and with weapons. But as how most reincarnation animes go, he gets hit by a car, sending him into a world with magic and new identity of Sid. Realizing how he now has magic, he is able to make himself stronger. As he grows stronger day by day, testing his powers, he comes across many villains and defeats them while saving civilians and lying to them about how his purpose is to eliminate a cult called Diablos, which somehow is a real cult in the world he is in, and somehow the people he saved join him, creating an organization called Shadow Garden made mostly of the people he saved. And it just so happens all of them are girls, thus complicating his life and having to fight under the alias Shadow, giving us some great action animations. Attack on Titan, the final season part 2. The once famed anime that took over the charts in America, with this being the final installment of Attack on Titan. Seeing as how this is the final season and some of you may not have seen it or have caught up to the latest season yet, I will just be giving you guys a generic overview instead, as I do not want to spoil too much or confuse some of you. To start off, this show relies on two main ideas to keep it running for so long. One is the fight scenes, composed primarily of people fighting the Titans using ODM gear that allows them to move like Spider-Man. Second would be the Titan against Titan fights. The other main idea has to do with the main character Eren's past and identity. The anime revolves around Eren as he tries to eliminate all the Titan as vengeance for his mother and slowly finding out more and more about his father. This then leads to many other things like how Titans were created, who their real enemies are, and so on. But although the overall show is great, I personally don't like Eren's personality, as he seems to be more like a violent anti-hero than anything else. Call of the Night. Now this anime is interesting and a bit different from the rest. I have put Call of the Night on this list mostly because the main character Koyamori embodies what most of us are like nowadays. Not really motivated to do anything and is struggling with life without a goal. Then one day he meets Nazuna, a vampire, and through their interactions, it gave Ko a goal as well as a sense of motivation to work hard towards a goal. I would say it is not as action-packed or compelling to watch as the others. On the contrary, it is kind of relaxed and soothing to watch. Overlord 4. The concept of the story is similar to Sword Art Online or any other become a character in a game anime. To be honest, I would say this is one of my favorites when it comes to have a strategic main character. As for explaining the plot of Season 4, I will just be giving a broad summary of the series as a whole just like I did with Attack on Titan. In general, the goal of the main character in the story is to find others that were transferred into the game like he did. But seeing as how he is an overlord of Nezarec, his base created by him and his guild, he has a much better start than most other main characters. He has both strong and intelligent servants under his command, and it seems like those in this world are a lot weaker than him. So, he was able to spread his influence quickly and became an emperor. The process of how he went from a nobody in this new world to an emperor span across these 4 seasons, with each season containing multiple intricate plots and strategic events that leads to an increase to his current power and benefits to his servants. In a way, this can be comparable to Log Horizon with more action and more immersive. So, for those who like these sorts of animes, you should give this series a try. My Hero Academia Season 6. The 6th season of My Hero anime series. The series has always been popular, so it shouldn't be surprising that this new season has made it into the top 10 list. From my understanding, the main reason this is in the top 10 with its immense popularity is because of the arc it is in. As an anime where being a hero is a job and almost everyone has special abilities, clashes between heroes and villains is a common occurrence. So, the build-up between the fights and hatred between the heroes and villains has got everyone curious as to what will happen in the upcoming war that is about to break out, with the main fight between All for One and One for All ongoing throughout multiple generations. It has come to the era where One for All is inherited by Deku, the main character, and his quest to master the power he has inherited while preventing All for One from stealing his power. And with all the villains merging into one faction, it has become the perfect opportunity for the heroes to strike, taking them all down at once. Classroom of the Elite 2. In a world where the Japanese government has established a school to foster the future generations, the story follows Ayano, a genius engineered and bred out from a lab to become the perfect human that is both extremely smart and gifted in all aspects, like physically and mentally. The guys would be considered one of those overpowered main characters that hides their strength. The difference being he is considered perfect so far from what I see in the anime. The story of each season centers around Ayano and his complex plans and strategies to help his class ascend up the rankings, with the way the school pits all the classes against each other to gain points, and with each rank giving the students better accommodations, making every student strive to become better. Skeleton Knight in Another World. The premise of this anime is a bit vague, as it doesn't really state the goal of the main character arc. All I know is he wakes up in the body of his in-game character suddenly. Whether it is like Sword Art and Overlord, where it uses VR technology from the future, or current day like Log Horizon, I have no idea. At the beginning, the story tells us that he is of the Paladin class, and for some unknown reason he is a skeleton, which is not what his original character was supposed to be. So, he goes out to explore the new world he is in and chances upon a dark elf trying to save her people from slave traders and helps her. Then the story goes off and just has Ark traveling with the elf saving other who have been enslaved. Along the way they become acquainted with a beast woman ninja trying to find her brother, then helps her as well. So, from this you guys should be able to tell that Ark just goes on multiple adventures helping those in need as his main objective, and finding a way to return to his normal body before becoming a skeleton as a side quest, which is quite different from the other Into Another World animes, because he doesn't really seem to think about going back to his old world at all. Bleach, 1000-Year Blood War. I have already talked about this a lot in my other videos, so I will just compress everything I've said in those videos and reiterate it. Main character is Ichigo. He was a normal dude that became a Soul Reaper after powering up and facing many enemies in the original Bleach anime that came out in the early 2000s and becoming a great figure after 366 episodes. It is finally time to start the biggest arc in the story about an all-out war between Soul Reapers and Quincy's, with massive losses and deaths of characters that you would know very well from watching Bleach. I am expecting a lot from this, since I don't think they would restart one of the mainstays of Shonen Jump without having the confidence to not mess it up. So, for those who have never watched Bleach, Here is a reason to get you started, and with all those episodes by the time you finish watching Bleach, the new season would probably have a lot of episodes out by then. Kingdom Season 4. Kingdom is a historic anime based on the Warring States era on the rise of Shi Huangdi as the first emperor to unite China. The story centers around Shin, a peasant on the path to becoming a great general in China's history. Most of the notable characters are actually based off real people in Chinese history. I think this is a great watch as it provides both a good story and teaches you a bit about history at the same time. The historical event that Season 4 portrays is of the civil war that erupts in the state of Qin between the Queen Dowager, Merchant Bu Weilu, and Shi Huangdi. And thus, a battle at the capital of Qin ensues with many great kingdoms at work aiding the Queen Dowager's army, hoping to eradicate the current Qin kingdom as they have been emerging victorious in many of the wars that has been fought from Season 1 to now. Therefore, the Civil War was a great opportunity for the other kingdoms to weaken the Qin state and eliminate as many notable generals of the Qin army as possible. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic new year.